Pisces, December energies are upon us. And what I keep hearing from your guides on this month for you is have a heart, believe in your heart, and it will be. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for Pisces for December, for Sun, Moon, and Rising. Wow, what a really cool message. Have a heart, be in your heart, and all will be. I love that. So we are pulling cards for you, an overarching theme message for you from the Sweet Ass Affirmations 2 from Rage Create. And then the card deck that spoke to me is an unknown, untitled deck by Tina Gong. I think you'll really love the imagery. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so let's take a look at this overarching theme for you guys. And of course, you don't need to be psychic to know that it is December and the whole world, you know, regardless of, you know, whether you celebrate holiday or how you celebrate holiday, we are in reflection mode because we are saying, you know, wrap it up and goodbye to one aspect well, actually 1 year, one full year exchange and experience that you've had on the planet and moving into another year. So we are in reflection and in a little bit of planning mode, but let's see what else the guides have to offer. Because I work for the universe, my retirement plan is lit. Wow. Okay. So definitely feeling for you, Pisces, that it is owning the fact that you are co-creating your life. You are writing the story. You are choosing the experiences that you wish to have. And the question becomes, do I want to be conscious of those choices and of that fact, that reality? Or do I want to kind of live in this subconscious realm or where I am only in the conscious and the subconscious realm is working behind the scenes to bring me things, to create things that I am not fully conscious of or fully aware of. This is a reminder, Pisces, that you are, I want to say a whole being, that the goal here in life, one of the overarching goals is ascension, and ascension comes through higher conscious awareness of your actual identity, who you are. So you're here for a reason. You're working for the universe. So your retirement plan is already there, right? So that's not something you have to worry about. Focus now on what it is that you're creating. Make your work heart-based and heart-centered. You guys are most of the time, but we're all human. We all have those moments where I want to say we get frustrated with the flotsam and jetsam of life. I like to say it gets irritating after a while. And sometimes we can kind of lose our way, or we just get tired of the game. This is not a time for you to get tired of the game. This is a time for you to acknowledge the game and to say, all right, I'm going to play it well, because I already know that I'm going to win. You know, like I already know what the prize is at the end. So I don't have to worry about all that. And let me just have fun now. Let me be in flow. All right. Currently, the present moment, where are you right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Oh my God, I love this. 3 of Cups. So this was the card that the Aquarius reading ended with. And I think that's really interesting. I just did the Aquarius reading with a totally different deck, by the way. Each of you signs always gets a different deck every month. So different deck, same card, only your reading is starting off with it. So I think that's really interesting. Okay, so 3 of Cups. You definitely, I want to say, are feeling a little more celebratory. Again, December can be a more celebratory month in general, but I feel like it's not as on the nose as that. What I'm actually getting from this card is that maybe there's been a little less of the focus on the things that really need your time and attention, things that are taking a lot of your energy, and you've been more in this, you know, kind of like party mode, or taking things a little less seriously mode, or you're craving the ability to do this. Not a bad thing at all. But the message that I'm getting is not to say this is coming to an end, but I feel that there is some balance and alignment that's going to be happening here with this Three of Cups, because the lessons, the opportunities that are showing up for you in this December month, yes, it's going to lead to these things, but it's kind of like you're the party planner. So you had to put all of it together. You had to make sure there were enough glasses and to buy the drinks and to rent the venue and to, get the food and all of that stuff. So you had to put the work in order for the celebration to happen. Now you can participate in the celebration, but you did a little extra, to actually make it happen. And I feel like that's kind of the energy of what December is going to be for you. Like up until this point, you haven't necessarily been the one to do a lot of the work. Now it's your turn, right? So, I'll just use the analogy of like the round robin going to everybody's different houses. You all take your turns, and each person hosts. Well, December is now your month to host. So whenever you're in host mode, there's extra work and extra prep that goes into everything before you're able to have the fun. And then you also have the cleanup on the other side of it. And that's just the way things are. So I feel like this is your turn. This is your time. It's nothing to be, to dread, but I want to say it just makes this, I don't want to say less fun, but it just makes it a different kind of focus. And I feel like that's kind of where you're at right now. When we ask what part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving, I feel that you're shifting. You're shifting into this. You want to keep this. You want to keep the celebration going. But in order to keep the celebration going, there are certain things that need to be done, certain maintenance steps that need to take place in order for that to happen. The catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? Oh, interesting. The Empress. So feeling very much for you, Pisces, that you've been feeling a little like the Empress has left you, like creativity isn't as easily come by, that you've had to work a lot harder for all of the things that you have, and it doesn't feel abundant. It feels more like you've got what you need, but not what you want, I guess is how I would put that. Again, because I work for the universe, my retirement plan is lit. You don't have to work extra to worry about the retirement plan. That's included. And I feel like that's what you're missing right now. The catalyst to this transformation for you right now is saying, there's more that I want. This isn't enough. My turn has come. I need to do this, but I need to do this because I want more of this. And I'm not feeling that. I also have to point out 2 3s back to back. So a lot of this is aligning head, heart, and soul, mind, body, spirit, coming into alignment. Also the creativity of things and the bill coming due. And I feel like when we talk about this as a catalyst, I feel like for a lot of you Pisces, you're making this choice because you're seeing that you haven't had to do those things in a while, or those things have been taken care of by others for you, and you're recognizing, in order for me to kind of have a little more say in things, have a little more skin in the game, this is kind of the approach that I need to take. Some of you are disappointed by this. Some of you are fired up by this. So for some of you, it's rocket fuel, and for others of you, it's resistance. So whichever category you fall into, I want to say, just understand that while it doesn't feel great, it's kind of normal. You've been here before. It's just been a little while since you've been here before. And once you kind of shift into sort of taking charge or taking over those things, you'll easily fall into a pattern and a rhythm. It won't feel like a chore. You won't feel exhausted by the activity of it. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Oh my God, your third 3 in a row. Wow. Okay. So this, before I even discuss the card, this month in December, Pisces, it's very much about what are you creating for this new year to come. And it is choice. It's your choice. It's your initiation. It's your inspired thoughts and dreams. This is not a time to pass it off. It's not a time to, I don't want to say don't empower others, but it's not a time to empower others to do your will and your bidding. It's a time for you to empower yourself to get that stuff done. Not only is it laying the groundwork, but it's also like doing the work. And you can enlist others to help you, but it's got to be your vision. It's got to be about you. I feel like for some of you, and please don't shoot the messenger, it's just how it's coming through. Some of you, I want to say over the last few months, it's like you've kind of slacked off a little bit. It's kind of like we all do it. It's not just your sign. We all do it when there's somebody at work who's willing to pick up the extra slack, and they do that all the time. It's like, okay, well, if Betty Sue is going to do that all the time, then yeah, and if she's happy to do it, then hell yeah, I'm going to let her do that, and I'm not going to worry so much. I can do other stuff over here. The problem or the challenge with that comes in, what are you taking on from Betty Sue in reciprocity, in exchange? And I feel like that's what is maybe a little bit out of balance. And that's why the threes are coming through, because there is more balance that is required. We often think of balance as, the number 2 energy. And yes, there is a balance message in all of that. But 3 really is balance and harmony in nature. When you've got the point at the top and 2 at the bottom supporting it, that's truly balance. And so I feel like the 3 threes in a row, can't make this shit up, right? 3 threes in a row is indicating that you are really coming into a different alignment. Now, this 3 of Pentacles is about collaboration and paying attention to the details. So when we talk about that deep belief or that deep wound, it's almost this feeling of I'm afraid to do it by myself. I'm afraid to ask other people for help. Maybe because when I ask other people for help, they don't do it right. Maybe when I ask other people for help, they reject me. They tell me no, nobody shows up. And then I have to end up dealing with, having to do it myself, plus the rejection of, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, I'm going to the garden to eat worms. Maybe it is a fear that you don't have the skills or the knowledge to do what needs to be done, and that you're going to make a mistake around it. So I feel like there's a lot going on here, fear-based, that is connected to a deep belief that maybe is no longer serving you. So the fact that the threes are coming up says that that's the energy that you are shifting this month. That is definitely what is coming up from the surface. Don't be afraid to pay attention to the details and to ask for help. You might ask for help in terms of learning the skill, learning how to do it yourself. You might ask for help in terms of having someone like help you. Like, it's not they're doing it for you, they're helping you to do it. But you have to be a part of it. You're part of the balance, because this is the realignment for you that is occurring. An alignment to a new version of self. No one can do that for you. They can support you, they can help you, they can make suggestions, but ultimately it's your choice, it's your call. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away, and what role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Interesting. I feel, Pisces, like you guys are you're recognizing maybe some codependent patterns in the choices you've been making, and maybe even in some of the relationships that you've had. And you're wanting to correct that. You're wanting to remove the codependency piece and replace it or refill it with healthy interdependence, right? The challenge with this is you can make the decision to do that if you are in relationship with someone. And I don't mean necessarily just romantic partnership. We're in relationship with everybody in our lives, right? When you're dealing with that one-on-one situation, you might want to remove the codependency. That other person has free will as to whether they want to remove it or whether they want to keep it going. And that's where the challenge comes in, because that's when, you might have to say, okay, if you're not willing to make these changes, That's fine. I don't judge you. You do you, but I have to move on as a result of that. And so I feel like what's dying away for you is like always having to evaluate. You know, you've had a lot of this where there have been people that you've recognized now don't align with where you're going and growing. They're not choosing healthy interdependence. They're preferring codependence, and you're recognizing I can't do that thing anymore. Some of you, because it's a general reading, you're the ones that are choosing codependence rather than interdependence, and you're finding yourself now a little more isolated. You know, focusing on the duality of your life. I feel very much that this Two of Cups is coming up to say the past approach to healthy dynamic in relationship is not working. You're moving into a different approach. But in order to do that, you've got to make adjustments in the relationships that you're in right now. Some of them are just tweaks, others of them are going to be like a complete overhaul. And it's going to be dependent upon whether that other person is willing to do the work the same as you're doing the work, or dependent upon you saying yes to the work. The question is, how badly do you want it? And that's what I keep feeling here. I feel like this has run its course. Codependency has run its course. If you choose codependency, I feel that you're just going to keep going around and around in circles. You're not even going to move off the merry-go-round or move to a different circle. You're just going to keep on the same hamster wheel, the same broken merry-go-round until you, I want to say, surrender. You know, until you surrender to what is. And I don't feel like the universe is trying to be mean. I feel like the universe is answering the call of your soul contract, your divine blueprint that says, don't let me get caught up in this again. Don't let me do the thing that I've done in, you know, lives past where I get caught up in someone else and I lose myself in the process. Don't let me do it. So trust and know that when you start to see those patterns and cycles, it's the universe telling you, hey, I'm doing what you asked in the spirit realm. This is not the place that you want to be right now. You want to be moving forward. You want healthy interdependence with the people that you are connecting with and doing this thing called life with. No codependence, healthy interdependence. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5. Highest Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Oh my God, 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled. I love this. So this makes this a little easier, right? This is an easier pill to swallow now that you've got this is the breakthrough. If this happens, if you go into interdependence, your wishes are fulfilled. Those relationships are a little smoother now. Those relationships are more fulfilling and fulfilling in the way that you have wanted to feel fulfilled in relationship. This is very exciting. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. And I feel like that 9 really is indicating to you that you will have completed a big life cycle, not just a chapter in your life, but this is you setting yourself up to close a volume of your life in order to be able to open up into another volume that is interdependent, where you have your space, other people have their space, and you're working within the energy that is created by the two of you bringing your individuality to the mix. I call it the Vesica Pisces, right? It's the, here's one individual, here's the other individual, and then there's this third entity in the center that is created. That is the energy combined, the alchemy of the two of you coming together. And that is where the magic happens. That is what this breakthrough energy is for you. And I want to say you've got to choose it. It's there. It wants to be chosen by you. It wouldn't show up if it didn't. But you have to actually reach up and take it. And as you can see, it's not at her level. She's got to go a little higher in order to get there. It doesn't mean that it's out of reach. It doesn't mean that it's not meant for her. And she doesn't have to work real hard to get at it, but she's got to kind of pay attention. Otherwise, she might spill it. So, I love this for you. Next step, what's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? So the Hanged One, I mentioned to you guys here about surrender. This is a card of surrender. This is a card of letting go. It's pause and breathe. It's radical acceptance, radical surrender. I feel like this Hanged Man, also, by the way, it's limbo. I feel like this Hanged Man or this Hanged One is coming up because it's saying you're going to need a little bit of time to say yes to all of this, to work this through, and then to integrate. And that's what the Hanged One is really all about. It's like being in the womb. I call it the phoenix growing phase. You know, you're not who you were. You're not exactly sure who you are and who you're becoming. You don't have a clear vision of what's coming up. You're just sort of floating around. And it's a time to reflect, to recharge, and to receive. And I feel like this is what's emerging for you. This is what's coming up. If you're doing all of this stuff, you're going to have the time to integrate the learning. And that integration is going to be very successful, and it's going to lay foundation and groundwork for the success of what you are creating. Remember all those threes coming up into the mix. So, and actually it's a 12, which if we break that down, it's also a 3. Just got to point that out as well. You can't make this shit up. So with this card, I feel like you're being told, yeah, you're saying, okay, but if I do this, like, how do I know it's going to work? And is it going to happen on time? And I've been here before. And, you know, everybody decides that they don't want to say yes to this and, you know, all the things and the stuff. I feel like you go down, you know, a rabbit hole of, you know, all the reasons why it can't work out. And this is the universe saying to you, yeah, but it is going to work out because we're actually giving you the time to integrate. We're giving you the time to just like, accept what is, surrender to what is, take those action steps in that direction, and then watch what happens. Because we've got you covered. The enlightenment is inevitable. The knowledge is inevitable, but you have to be open to receiving it. You can't get in its way. Wow, that's really significant. Your role in this shift. How are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? You're flowing. 6 of Swords. So this is a card of support and grace. This is a card of moving on to calmer shores. And I feel such a sense of peace when I am looking at this particular depiction, because you've got a person who's got one oar. They're taking their time, you know, to steer themselves through all of these swords, these thoughts. They're definitely moving in the direction of the moonlight. They're moving in the direction of mountains are always a symbolic of journeys, new journeys. She's got 3 new journeys ahead of her. Which one will she take first? Likely based on where she's kind of looking, I would say she's trying to head in this direction, which is not biting off more than she can chew. You know, taking the smaller journey at first because maybe she needs to do that in order to feel ready for this one. But the point of it all is it's bringing her harmony, balance, and alignment. So I feel like this is you if you choose to accept your mission, right? This is your mission. Should you choose to accept it, this message will self-destruct in 3 seconds. So I feel like here you can flow if you give yourself permission to flow. If you don't make excuses or get in the way of, you know, but this person might say this and that person might do that. No, this is about you. This is about a realignment. This is about reconnecting to your creativity, reconnecting to yourself and source, coming into balance. And the 6 of Swords cards is saying, if you accept the support and the grace and the help that is afforded to you by your dream team, by your guides, if you surrender into what is and trust that that surrender is integration, then you're going to be successful. So be your own ally. Don't get in your own way. Don't dive deep into the hole of pessimism. Dive instead into the wellspring of love, the wellspring of joy, the wellspring of this is happening and it's happening for me and I'm excited about it. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? So I feel like where you want to be here is really tapping into your intuition. Some of these choices that come up, this is the shit sandwich card. Some of the choices that come up, it's a choice between shit sandwich A and shit sandwich B. Neither choice is the ideal option. Nobody wants to eat a shit sandwich, but sometimes we have to make that choice in order to be able to move forward, in order to get to the next level and the next space that we want to get to. And I feel like some of this really is about what is it that I'm hanging on to that is connected to this previous volume of me that just doesn't fit in this new volume that I am creating. What's not fitting in the boat? And I feel like this is the challenge. There is something that you are going to have to let go. You're going to have to say goodbye to a particular something. It could be in the form of a person, but I feel like this is more like a concept or a way of being. You're needing to let it go and move forward from it so that you can get to where it is that you're going. Again, keeping in mind that you are aligning yourself. That's what this is all about. You're aligning yourself to the new vision, the new goal. And in order to do that, sometimes we have to let go of the past. It's a Joseph Campbell saying, sometimes I have to let go of the life that I have in order to say yes to the life that is waiting for me. And that's what I feel this is all about. Hopes and fears about changing. What are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? Wow, Queen of Cups. Afraid that you're going to repeat the same patterns. Afraid that you are going to once again go cold, go numb, to isolate yourself. You're afraid to step into the not caring, the not feeling, the shutting down in order to survive. And I feel like what's really coming up around this whole reading is it's the invitation to invite people in, but to invite the right frequency of people in, to recognize where your frequency is shifting and changing and where you want to be intentional about leaning into the right energy, the right frequency, the right vibration for you that's going to support this alignment. Remember, the Queen of Cups, it's a water sign for you. It's Scorpio energy. And you and Scorpio do really well diving into the deep. The challenge with you is you go even deeper than the Scorpio can go. And sometimes you can get lost in that. You wallow in it. You get caught up in the real negative component of things. Queen of Cups says when she's in balance, she says, I can ride on top of my ocean of emotion. I float over the top of my ocean of emotion in a glass bottom boat. So that way I can see where I want to drop my anchor and go in and do the deep dive rather than feeling like I want to bathe in it right now. And I want to say, this is something that you can take a chapter, borrow this chapter from Scorpio, or this characteristic from Scorpio. You know, Scorpio is handing it to you, saying, hey, drink from this cup and it's going to help you. It's almost like liquid luck. It's going to protect you. It's going to give you a different perspective. This is your hope and fear around it. But I feel like what the Queen of Cups is doing is it's bringing you an answer. It's bringing you a gift. It's showing you how you can stay out of the negative aspect of things, getting caught up in those things, and how you can ride on the surface of your emotions so that you're picking and choosing the things that you want to connect to. That feels really important. Don't worry, you're not going to lose yourself in this process. In fact, it's the exact opposite. You know, we're getting rid of that Two of Cups because you did kind of lose yourself a little bit in those codependent spaces. Now it's about interdependence. And Queen of Cups can definitely work some good interdependence energy. So trust that, lean into that. Outcome of the transformation. If you stay on course this December, who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? Oh, I love it. Wheel of Fortune. So 10, new beginnings based on an already established foundation. I just mentioned liquid luck when I was talking about the Queen of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune is the liquid luck card. So for those of you who aren't Harry Potter fans, liquid luck is a potion that that all of the kids at Hogwarts learn how to create, and it's basically, it lasts an hour. You take this potion and everything you touch turns to gold. It's kind of like a Midas touch thing. So, you know, whatever you need, if it's information that you need, you just get these inspirations and you're going to turn right here and you're going to turn left there and you're going to go talk to so-and-so, even though you haven't spoken to them in, you know, 3 years or whatever. And everywhere you go, you get, you know, the answer or the next step to get you ultimately to the thing that you need. That's what I'm feeling is the outcome for you. This month is really pulling you out of the doldrums. It's helping you to realign to what really matters for you and gives you a new pathway forward. And you've got the liquid luck. If you follow along with all of the instructions, if you're listening to your intuition, you're following your guidance, this is absolutely going to be your outcome. And I feel like how significant that you're moving into a 1 year, 2026 is a 1 year, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune as your outcome for December. So all of this is preparatory to set you up for huge success in 2026. And I just heard like the retirement plan, I feel is connected to that volume of you that's being closed down so that you're now ready for this next task, this next version of you. That you're bringing all of this other stuff, the wisdom of this other stuff, not the negative, but the wisdom. You can apply it moving forward. And I just want to say, oh, the places you'll go. Wow. Okay, Pisces, that is your transformational tarot for the month of December. So it is your year in preview season. If you want a sneak peek into what is coming down the pike for you in 2026, you want to click on the link below and book your session with me right away. These sessions are limited time only. They go from December 1st to January 31st, and then they are gone. They are my most popular service that I offer. They sell out really quickly. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. We sit down, you and I, for an hour. We have we pull a card for each month of the year, and I tell you what is coming up for you. You will be able to use it throughout the year to reference it every month to see where you're going, what happened last month, what to expect the next month. It's delightful and it's delicious. I've been doing it for 10 years. And if you want to go a little deeper, I also offer another limited time reading called Your Year in Transformation. And that shows you where you're transforming, how you're transforming. It gives predictive guidance, but it also gives you really clear, actionable steps on how you can make all of that work for you. You get channeling in there, card pulls, a bunch of self-reflection questions, a meditation, an anchoring affirmation for the year. I mean, it's just everything, all the deliciousness rolled into one. Would love to see you guys there. And otherwise, it's been a wild ride. Have enjoyed being on this wild ride with you for 2025. Looking forward to ringing in the new year in 2026. And we will see you on the flip side, and transform well.